Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Ketmia.
And welcome to this frozen edition of the This and That Chat. I'm really cold.
Did you already start?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. Isn't there like a little part of the song that still plays a little bit after?
It's still playing now.
Oh my God. And we're talking over it?
It's very low.
Oh. That's why I thought you were joking, like we weren't really live, because you spoke right away.
Well, we talk over the first little bit of it.
All right. So do you want to build a snowman?
Listen, the last couple days, I have come home to an absolute igloo. There's ice on the windows.
Okay.
It's 100 degrees outside.
This is like they
Explain
say.
yourself.
This is like they say in the eye of the beholder, right? This is like a personal opinion.
I'm outside all day long in this disgusting heat of South Florida working.
Yes.
And I come home to this cold house.
Which you would think that you would be like, oh my God, yes.
You would think.
You would think.
But no. I want to come home.
To a warm house.
Not a warm house. Just not 60 degrees.
It's not ever 60 degrees. Damn, I wish we could put it at 60 degrees.
It feels like it's negative 20 degrees.
Okay, so many ways that this can go. First of all, this has always been a problem with us. You like it. You're always freezing. I was going to say you like it hot, but no. I mean, I guess you like it comfortable.
I like it comfortable.
Comfortable. But comfortable, again, is a personal preference. Some people like it comfortable at a certain degree and others at a different degree, right? My, what does it say? My trump card in all of this has always been, you don't have a nuclear reactor in your body. Women do. Okay. And
So what do I have, an ice factory?
Listen, I just know that the hormonal stuff.
There's ice in my veins.
Yeah, well, the hormonal stuff makes your body go into like these hot flashes, these heat waves. They're not even hot flashes because until you get to menopause, and even then, some people don't experience it. But there's some times where I feel like I'm burning from the inside out. Okay? That's one. Two, I also like the house comfortable. Okay? I don't like to feel it hot. I feel like in my body, I have this, you know how there's a barometer that tells like the pressure, right? Mm-hmm. All that stuff. And what are the little things that people put outside of their house? Not anymore, but like in the old days. Not in the old days, our grandparents. They would put this little thing and the little mercury thing would go up and down and then it would tell you.
A thermometer?
Is that what it's called though?
I think it's actually a barometer.
No, I think barometer only measures pressure. But I didn't want to say thermometer because when I think thermometer, I think like a sick one where, you put in your tongue, under your tongue, or you stick a thermometer into a chicken. It's not a thermometer. I don't think it's a thermometer, and it's gonna drive me crazy. I know right now there's people who are listening who are yelling it at me, and I'm trying to like pick up their waves. And I can't. I just can't. So, okay, while you're looking that up, I continue with my story, right? But
it's a thermometer.
It's not a thermometer.
Yes.
Why does that sound completely wrong?
Yeah, it says it's a thermometer. And a lot of times it's found together with a barometer.
A thermometer?
A thermometer.
Wow.
A thermometer. A thermometer. No, it's a thermometer.
Are you sure? I just feel like that sounds so wrong to my head. That's so crazy. Okay, but anyway. I feel like internally I have that, okay? And you can attest to this, but there are times where I have woken up and for some god-awful reason, it only happens in the middle of the night, in like the dead middle of the night, 3 a.m., 3:49 a.m. It's like usually right about that time.
How
Okay?
specific? 3:49.
I know. Well, that's the last one. So, right? I will wake up and instantly I know the AC has frozen over. I know my body
It's
tells
because
me.
you have it so cold.
No. So it's because, okay, yes, this is a whole other thing, right? It's about the honey-do list and women who have a honey-do list for their husbands. I wonder how many wives would say, yes, I struggle with my husband doing their honey-do list, or they would say, I never have a honey-do list for my husband because he has everything
he
done.
runs away.
Right. Or maybe because they would just not want to do that. But you're pretty good about your honey-do list. I feel like you're a person who likes to check off the boxes and make sure that things are done and everything. But there's like, you and the AC just don't have a good relationship, you know? And it's as simple as like our AC needs to be flushed with a hose every now and then, right? Because it's accumulating whatever, dust and other things, right? And then you need to suck it on the other side with the vacuum.
I've been watching too much of The Office, and I almost did it.
You were gonna say that's what she said.
I was gonna say it. It was just a natural progression.
Oh my gosh! So it's so simple: flush and suck. That's it.
That's what she said. I can't help myself.
Okay, and you refuse. You refuse until it becomes this issue that now the AC's frozen. Now the whole system needs to be shut down. Now we start with this game where you're flushing the AC and you're asking me, is anything coming out on the other end at 3:49 in the morning? Okay. I'm pissed off because I'm awake and I should be asleep. And no, nothing. More flushing, water spilling everywhere, right? Until finally, and then it's like the back and forth with you going out there, shop vac, hose, shop vac, hose, until finally.
Our neighbor must be like, what the hell is going on
Why
over
does
there?
this happen like once a month?
3:49 in the morning, they're shop vacuuming outside. Could you imagine? No, hold on. Could you imagine the internal dialogue? They're sleeping, and they like get up, and they're like, "Is that a shop vac?"
Who's shop vac?
What? It's 3:49 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, yeah, the honey-do list. But anyway, with the AC, I don't know. I do know one person in particular that comes to mind that we knew from a long time ago. She was always frozen. Always. I envy people who are freezing all the time. I'd rather be cold than be hot. I will give up my bed. I will give up the comforts, the TV, like all of these things. If I could only keep one comfort.
Because you grew up in a house that didn't have central AC, I must suffer for the rest of my life.
I mean, literally, yes. That's correct.
Just so that you guys have a picture in your mind. Last night, I went to sleep in long, like thick sweatpants, a shirt with a sweater over top, furry socks, okay, like winter, like cold weather.
They're actually specifically thermal socks.
They're thermal socks.
They're called hot socks.
Yeah, underneath the blanket, and I woke up this morning cold. It's ridiculous.
You live the blessed life. That's it. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
Hashtag blessed.
Maybe I'll live longer because I'll be preserved.
Oh my gosh.
That's like,
listen, and so
that's like a sweet agony.
And so, I mean, I know that like we haven't done hardly hardly any socializing since the pandemic started, I would say. We've been to a handful of people's homes. Handful. I think two.
Two.
Okay, I really do think that it's just been two.
And it's fairly recent.
And it is fairly recent. But before, we did a lot of socializing. And there's one thing that I always dreaded is when you walk into a house and it's hot. Because at that moment, the clock starts for me. And I'm like, how long can I survive? What can I do? Like, I need to not be flustered. You know how there's some people who are like super bougie about stuff and they're super particular about stuff.
High maintenance.
Yeah, I know. We had this conversation earlier. We are going to talk about that.
But here's another example of it.
Okay, yeah, but I'm sorry. I can already think we have so many great polls.
We can't run. We gotta.
No, of course we're gonna talk about that. But I was just gonna say, like, to me, you don't need to have the house freezing. But if the house is warm, but then again, it's like maybe the people of the home are very comfortable. Maybe that if I was your friend and I would walk into your home, I would be counting down, like, how long do I have to stay before I can leave? The air gets stale when it's warm. I sleep with a fan.
You even have the fan on. You just took that from me. I'm like,
no,
I'm
this
literally
is,
here
this is
waiting.
Us. This is us being mentally connected.
No, I'm here waiting for an in to be able to say, but you have the fan on.
And I've gotten better because I had a tower fan.
Oh, you did, yes.
Next to my side of the bed.
Thankfully, Mikey moved away.
No.
Had to
So
send
you
it
know
with
what
him.
happened? You know what happened is that...
No, we bought a better fan.
No, it's because where is it?
It's on the roof.
No, that's not. And what setting is it at?
Too cold.
It's at 1. So what happened was, I have a problem now with sinus headaches. And so if I have a fan, if I'm under a fan too long, or if it's really windy outside, or if I'm sitting directly underneath the vent of an AC, I will get a sinus headache.
So is that all we need? I need any friend doctors that are out there. Please send a prescription. No fan and a higher temperature in the house.
So it's so funny because now I sleep with my head wrapped. So while you're sleeping like you're in the North Pole,
you look like the mummy.
I look like the mummy.
I look over, and you've got your head wrapped up like a mummy.
It's so I feel like we look very sexy sleeping at night.
No, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It is a hot mess, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. So let's go back and talk about the whole high maintenance thing.
Okay.
So
you'll start?
So yeah. And then I'll let you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you can sort of go from there, right? So like months and months and months ago. Okay. Months ago. I actually think it may have been last year, way before the pandemic started. Okay. I remember that you made a comment to me, just briefly, something about like your high maintenance. And I was flabbergasted at that moment when you said that, because my sole understanding of what it means to be high maintenance, okay, was a person who prefers the finer things in life, luxury, so it'll be like, we don't eat at Olive Garden, do you understand what I'm saying? Or I just want to wear brand name stuff, or I like to have expensive things. That's what I understood to be high maintenance. So, and usually it's funny because I don't think I've ever heard a man referred to as high maintenance. Although I'm sure that there are a lot of high maintenance men.
I'm sure it exists.
But usually, you would agree that this is a term that's used more for women?
Yeah, I would say so.
And look, if there's a woman out there, right, which there are, right, who likes to have 50 pairs of shoes and they like to have their brand name stuff, right? And they own it. They're proud of I'm high maintenance. More power to you. What I say, whatever floats your boat, right? I'm not judging. I'm not critical. It's everybody's got the thing that they like, right? And then some people have to wear a label with it, which is unfortunate, but whatever. That's what I understood the stereotypical high maintenance woman to be, right? Which then, to me, was like, you're speaking in another language. I don't understand what you're saying because I don't think I own anything with a brand name except my perfume. Which even then, Mike said something to me before he left home that he was like, wow, Mom, you have a Gucci perfume. And it's like literally the only thing that I own. Oh, and now, which we'll get into in a little bit, my new shoes are Adidas. I have brand name shoes. Okay, so if you're going to meet anybody who is like not at all connected with the brand name stuff, has no idea who the latest fashion is, who the fashion icons are, it's me. Okay? And yeah, you can take me to Taco Bell. I'm totally fine with that. All right? So to me, it was like, what on earth are you doing saying that I am, what the hell? So.
We should get,
It's my favorite video. I don't know why. It's just so.
We need to put. We need to get like a little, like a sound effect. Like whenever we just click it and be like, "What the hell?"
When I used to have Instagram, I actually saved the audio because you can use it. You know, Instagram lets you save the audio so you can record the video. So.
Well. So my definition.
Right, so we actually didn't get this settled until this morning because you did one of those where you said something and I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? And I literally, honestly wanted you to tell me, what do you mean? Give me an example. What do you mean? And you are like, red alert, right? Abort. And you're like, no, nothing. I don't want to get into it. And so this has been like a year later. That it's still something.
The funny thing is you said, oh, you keep bringing it up. And I'm like, no, not me. You keep bringing it up.
Because I wanted a definition. So this morning, finally.
And the thing about it is, when I said it the first time, we weren't even having, it wasn't an argument.
Not at all.
It was just a conversation.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like.
Like you own the fact that you're a snob.
Mm-hmm. A beach snob? Yes. A beach snob. You suck. That's not even funny.
Sorry, it's because
for everyone
I
else.
left out.
Well, okay, everyone out there's laughing. I know.
Listen,
you know, I could hear. I can hear Sally's message to us after hearing this.
My little sister.
Yes, after hearing this podcast, saying, "Ooh, when you said he was a snob, he was a sling."
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my gosh. Listen, it's because I left it out on purpose for you to jump in and defend yourself. But whatever. Yes, I meant a beach snob.
Yeah, whatever.
Do people even know what a beach snob is?
I would think so.
For the beach snobs know what a beach snob is.
I know that in the group of people who are listening to us, there are either beach snobs that are proud of it, or beach snobs that are in the closet hiding, not saying, not wanting anyone to know, because they don't want to be labeled as a beach snob.
That's terrible, right? How people have to have labels for things? That's terrible.
I am a proud beach snob.
And look, more power to you. More power to you.
But hold on.
I just want to say very quick, I grew up going to the beach where when you step into the water, it's really fuzzy. You know what I'm talking about?
The seaweed?
Yeah. You have to wade through that, probably getting bitten by mites and whatever else lives down there. I never felt the ocean floor, the sandy ocean floor. Like that was just later in like movies and advertisements.
Tell me that I'm not right though.
Of course you're right. But, oh no, of course you're right. There's no comparison
Thank you.
going to that. But to me, what I'm saying is I just enjoy like the beach. Not anymore. I used to. I should clarify. I used to enjoy going to the beach. And it didn't matter where you took me because I can't swim. So I just wanted to go for the fun of watching the kids play in the sand, running around. It was like a day out. I don't enjoy it anymore though. So back to
yes. So my definition of high maintenance, and the definition that the reason why I labeled Ketmia high maintenance is because she's very extremely particular about
agreed
things and how she wants them.
and how I like them.
So it takes a lot of work.
Okay.
That's it.
Right. But again,
Am I wrong?
no, not at all. But
Hey, I've gotten 2 right today.
what?
2 right today
What? Which one was the first one?
about the beach snob thing, and now this.
But I didn't disagree with you on that.
I
So
know,
listen,
but still,
the thing is, people are going to be like, wait,
I have to take
people
my
right now are
wins.
saying, wait, what do you mean particular about what things, right? Because that could mean I like for you to buy me rose gold jewelry, right? But that's not what we're not talking about monetary things.
No.
We're not talking
It's-
about material stuff
No,
here.
It's particular
I like
about
you
stuff.
to hose and suck the vacuum on its timely schedule so you don't wake me up at 3:49 in the morning to come help you.
To my defense, I don't wake you up at 3:49 in the morning.
Really?
You wake
the
me up.
Yes. And then you're like, come on, we gotta go.
Well, either
Come
that
hold the door open for me.
listen, I'm perfectly okay sleeping until I gotta wake up in the morning.
Exactly. So I have to.
So that's not me waking you up.
Whatever. Agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree.
So those are the things. That's what you mean.
So
a particular way.
are
I
you-
like the house particularly cold a certain way.
Are you proud of your particular ways?
Well, yeah, I guess I would say sure. I mean, I'm not going to change them.
So you're a proud high maintenance.
I'm proudly high maintenance.
See?
You know?
That's
But I
it.
never understood. I never understood that being high maintenance meant you like things in a particular thing. I always thought it had to do.
The whole term high maintenance
Mm-hmm.
means that it takes work to keep that functioning correctly. So because you're so particular, it takes so much work to keep.
But if you did it right the first time.
I can't with you right now. It is way too early in the day for this to be like this.
Sling.
So dumb. This is a look into our life. This is every day.
Oh my god.
This is a normal.
I can't. I'm sorry.
This is a normal progression. It's like I'm not even mad because
No.
it's 21 years of this, and it's gotten progressively more intense. I think.
Well, but also I think it's comical. It's
It
good
is
because it's
comical.
expected. So I don't know.
It's something I think I'm going to get a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote tattoo to just so that it could signify.
I should get Roadrunner.
And I'll get Wile E. Coyote.
Didn't you tell
with
me that?
an anvil dropped on his head. That's the one I'm going to get. It's going to be with his head in the ground, an anvil dropped, like, smashed in, and his butt, like, way up in the air, smashed open.
Listen. Didn't you tell me that was your favorite cartoon?
It was. It was one of my favorite.
Or was that your favorite?
It was one of my favorite.
Of the Looney Tunes we're talking about.
Of the Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite of the Looney Tunes.
And, I feel like they didn't get a lot of episodes with them in, right?
They didn't.
Because the star is Bugs.
Yes.
For sure.
So now that we're just talking about this, I remember and my uncle Uli, he'll know. He'll remind. I'm actually going to reach out to him.
Do you need
and
a
ask
minute?
him. No, I'm thinking. The memory's coming back.
Okay.
A minute for what?
Just sorry, because it's. Have you seen the video where the boy is like, have you ever thought of something?
Okay, enough. So, I'm recollecting the memory.
I'm sorry. When the kids were little and they would do that, I would say, stop talking, take a minute, gather your thoughts, take a big breath.
Hold on. The fact that you're saying that.
What do you want to say?
This is insane. Okay, so you know how
No way.
Listen.
Wait, you have to talk about Uli and
what I'm about to say.
Yeah, what you're about to say.
Okay, so you always say, goodness, you always have a video for it. I literally have a video.
No.
I
I mean, I'm
swear.
not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Okay, so the video is hilarious because it's this guy who just put his kids into the car, right? And it says, as a parent, does this ever happen to you or something like that? And then he's looking down at the kid, and the kid's just like, Dad, have you ever had a dream where have you ever had a dream? And he goes through that whole thing, and the dad just closes the door on the kid and goes and sits down
slowly.
No, he just slammed the
fast.
door. Yeah, he's like, I'm done with this.
Oh my gosh!
I sent it to the kids this morning.
Really?
Yep.
That's so funny.
Anyways,
I still do that with Nikki. I still do that with Nikki while I'm like said goodnight to her, and I'm closing the door slowly because she's still talking to me, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go now, and I'm like sticking my like nose in while I'm closing the door.
She's 19 and she's like, I have a secret.
Stop it. That's for another day. We have to talk about that. Day. That's funny.
So, anyways, my uncle Uli, he would say, and he would corroborate my story. My grandmother sewed me a pillow of Wile E. Coyote.
Aww.
And I had that for a long time. Like
I don't know why am I having a memory of this? Maybe I've seen a picture or something.
You actually saw the pillow. I'm gonna go as far as saying that it's in the box that my mom still has at her house.
Oh God, that box should be thrown away.
No, I think that box was thrown away already.
Yeah.
No, I think I took out what I wanted from it because when my parents moved, I think I already took out what was in there. Where was that pillow? I think it came with little bugs that eat stuff. No, you probably threw it away with my Pokemon stuff.
Stop. No, I did not ever touch your Pokemon stuff. That you threw that away on your own.
I didn't throw it away. Michael has it.
No, he doesn't.
I kept my stuff.
No, he doesn't. Remember how he said...
Oh, the little toys and stuff?
Yes.
Whatever. Anyways, so I remember the pillow was like a greenish color and it had all the little faces on it. So anyways, but yeah, Wile E. Coyote was my favorite.
Yeah, he really didn't get enough airtime. And it's funny because the very few episodes they did make, I always wanted him to catch Roadrunner because it always annoyed me how everything worked out for Roadrunner and nothing would work out for him. Okay? So
but that's what made, it funny.
I remember this one episode where he paints like the side of a mountain, like it's the tunnel for the train, okay? So that probably, Roadrunner will smash himself on it, knock himself out, and then he can eat him. And he goes right through. Mm-hmm. And then when he tries to go right through,
Smash.
he smashes. Or there is a train that magically comes right through the hole and runs him over. So yeah, I was wanted.
Looney Tunes will live forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We collected all of those.
What were other cartoons that? Well, I don't know. What cartoons did you watch?
So funny enough, right? We got to hear this very long review from my sister Sally on all the past 3 episodes, I think it was, that she did, and she was making a comment about, and I think it was our last episode where we talked about that I didn't like have TV.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So she made a comment that she said, yeah, we used to watch 24 and Malcolm in the Middle. So yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. So I looked up Malcolm in the Middle, right? And it came out in the year 2000. So I called her up and I told her, look it up, all right? Yeah, that show came out 21 years ago. So for you, when you think back, it's an old show. But she's the youngest sister, right? And I'm the oldest of 8. So, like, go down that line, right?
I'm surprised your parents let her watch Malcolm in the Middle.
But that's what we were talking about. Her memories that she has about, like, when, being allowed to watch TV or all of that stuff are different than what me and the older ones grew up with. And even she was saying, I remember that we still had to, like, ask for permission and, to watch a movie or to turn on the TV, and we could only watch, like, from a certain time. Right. So she did remember that there were restrictions, but it was different because I remember my mom used to be a huge fan of the show 24. So they got to watch that together. Right. But I told her, no, hon, when you were watching Malcolm in the Middle, I was being a mother. I had a baby. So I didn't get to enjoy those things. So when
our kids watched Malcolm in the Middle.
Our kids watched Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah, they did.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. So, but cartoons. So my cartoons came from the library, right? And one of the cartoons that I remember that we absolutely loved were Aesop's Fables. Are you familiar with Aesop's Fables?
I know Aesop's Fables, but
okay.
I as a cartoon, I don't remember ever watching it.
They are shorts. And it wasn't like it was a cartoon show because these were on VHS, all right? So every VHS would bring you like 3 or 4 little shorts. And they were specific. It was a specific one because there's a lot of them that were made, but there was this one series that was made. And I was actually looking it up online to see if they ever transferred them to DVDs because it's something that I would love to show the grandkids one day, because they were so good. And you can get one VHS because it was like volume 3, let's say. You can get volume 3 on VHS for like $60. VHS. Are you with me? It's ridiculous because it's only volume 3. And on a VHS, so you'd have to transfer it to a DVD. But that's one of the cartoons I remember. I do remember watching Arthur.
Okay, the bad attitude boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was it him with a bad attitude or his friend?
Yeah, it was his friend.
I don't know. No, there's his sister, DW.
See, I don't remember that show though.
Okay, so I do remember watching that. Yeah, and I think that's it. I remember watching Raggedy Ann and Little Lulu as well.
I'm looking up this story because you were talking about Aesop's Fables, and we've been watching The Office. Mm-hmm. When Dwight was reading the story,
Cautionary Tales.
Yeah, but that's what I can't find. It's Cautionary Tales of something, but I don't see it.
But, actually, we watched that episode last night, and I was wondering if that's a real book or not.
It is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yes. And
Okay,
so,
it's probably like the Brothers Grimm
right,
stories.
So the reason why I was looking for it is because I wanted to say what was the first, the original.
Mm-hmm.
But what I thought was really cool, and I actually wanted to look for it, was that Mark Twain, later in his life, he rewrote them and made them more, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's called Cautionary Tales for Children.
That one. So
No, I'm saying that's the one Dwight was reading.
right, but Mark Twain made a rendition of those stories, and he published them.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I have to look that up. That's very interesting.
Yeah. So I just when you're just talking about Aesop's fables, and there's a story. It's a story that's being taught with a lesson, right?
Yes.
And then, but the one that Dwight was
God.
doing, he's like, for the kids who sucking their thumbs. There was a guy who went around with a pair of scissors and just cut them right off. It's like, now you don't have a thumb to suck, so.
Well, I mean, when we were in Savannah, we went to this wonderful bookstore it was really beautiful. Remember, it was like in a basement?
Oh, yeah.
It was really beautiful.
It had like...
It had a main entrance,
like
and then you went
level,
down.
And then it also had that little upper level on the back hand side.
It was really, really cute.
Cool.
I love going to bookstores, but not like Barnes and Nobles.
Was that Georgia or was that Virginia?
It was in Savannah. No, we went to one in Virginia as well, but I'm talking about this particular one. Nikki got a book that was all of the Brothers Grimm stories, okay? And she loves stuff like that. And she was telling me that all of the Disney stories that we know, they're in that book, but they are severely
I've heard
grotesque
that.
And they are like explicitly violent.
I've heard that.
It's crazy.
I've heard that a lot. A lot of the stories that Disney used,
they had a grim beginning.
They changed them around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Way to go, Disney.
Okay, so two things I just remembered right now, right? One last thing that we used to watch that's not going to be hilarious, but Little Rascals. But Little Rascals, black and white Little Rascals with alfalfa.
Those were good, though.
Oh, my gosh.
Those I remember.
So good. So good. Buckwheat and their dog. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So, a lot of fun.
For us, it was sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I think we watched.
I always think about Rudy. When you say that, I think about Rudy. If Rudy's listening, Rudy, I'm thinking about you because every time that we say something, he's like, "Yeah, I don't relate. I didn't have that problem. We could do anything we wanted."
Well, it wasn't that we could do anything we wanted. It's just we watched Saturday morning cartoons.
You probably watched Saturday Night Live.
I used to watch Saturday Night Live, yes, but I don't know. We
Richard Pryor.
Listen.
Hold
on.
You see.
Listen, I watched Eddie Murphy Raw. I should.
Did your parents know this?
No, because I watched it when I was with my uncle Uli.
Well, of course. How much older is he?
8 years, 9 years.
Okay,
something
so
like
he was pretty much your age.
Yeah, and so here's the thing, right? So I remember when I would go over, there, listen. That's where I heard Two Live Crew. That's where, I was, and he'd always be like, "No,
he was a cool uncle."
He's like, "No, they shouldn't hear it. They shouldn't hear it." And it was like, whatever.
Wow.
But I remember watching Eddie Murphy Raw. I remember watching Saturday Night Live. I remember hearing Two Live Crew. I remember Two Live Crew is the one that comes to mind right away. But we all kinds of music from that era. I mean, we're talking about 92, like 1990, 91, 92. So I was like 12 years old because I think he graduated in 1992. Yeah, something like that. Ironically enough, from the school Nikki's graduated from. But,
really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. So,
anyways, the exposure was definitely different.
Oh yeah, it was definitely different. Now, did you watch Sesame Street?
I remember we used to, but
Okay, so when I say I watched
I was young when I stopped watching it.
Okay, when I watched it, remember I have
another video that I actually saved.
Put a pin on that, okay? Because the Sesame Street, I think when the younger ones,
beep, beep.
like Sally and Ben. Oh wow.
The Roadrunner.
Is that me again?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm trying to say something about Sesame Street.
Beep,
beep. So they, when they were small and they were watching it, I remember watching Sesame Street. Do you remember Maria?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't remember who Maria married. I remember what he looks like. I just don't remember his name. Maybe it was Jose. I don't remember. But I remember when Maria was young. She was just a young woman on the show. And whatever progression of time went on, all of a sudden, she and this other guy on Sesame Street started were together. And then they got married. And then they had their daughter, which I think her name was Gabby or Gabriella, something like that, okay? And I remember watching it right up until their daughter was maybe 8 or 10. Right about that. That's the last I remember of Sesame Street. But now.
So I just looked up Maria just because I was curious if she was still there. She retired in 2015.
Yeah, see?
After 45 years.
Oh my
on
God.
Sesame Street. That's insane.
Wow.
Wow,
to be so long standing, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I wonder if anyone has beat her with a record like that. 45 years. Well, you know who'd probably beat. You know who probably is right up there with her?
Her husband was Louis.
Louis, yes. And their daughter?
It doesn't say on here.
Oh, I want to say that it was Gabby, but anyway, people on soap operas probably have put in that much time too.
Yeah.
All right, your video that you watched, and then I have to say something next. See,
okay.
I'm putting my spot in.
All right. Okay, so this just on the Sesame Street thing. It's another video I sent to the kids this morning. So
how come you don't send it to me as well on our group chat?
Because it's on Instagram. And
you're
off of Instagram.
Yes. Okay, sorry.
And I'm only on there because of the this and that chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so Sesame Street actually did this. This is an actual video. There was a dealer that came to Elmo. Not Elmo.
Who now?
A dealer. He looked like a dealer, like a street dealer.
Okay.
That walked up to not Elmo, to Ernie, and pulls his jacket open and says, "You want to buy an 8? An 8th? An 8?"
No.
Do you see the connection there?
No.
Yes. He actually flashes his jacket and there's a number 8, right? But he's saying, "You want to buy an 8?" And immediately in my mind, I heard, "You want to buy an 8th?" And I'm like Sesame Street playing the line. Because
you know why I think they do that? It's like these in a lot of the cartoons nowadays. Movies for kids that they do. They put things that are supposed to but are supposed to just be understood by the parents, because I think they figure the parents are watching this with their kids, so the parents will laugh. The kid will be like, "Oh, it's just the number 8," and it's nothing. But I think that's why. Except, whoa, that is playing the line.
Playing the line. And
I feel like they blurred the line there, and it's like you can't really tell where the line is anymore.
Well, the response was really quick. He's like, "No, I just ran into a guy and I spent all my money buying all these 9s." And he pulls a bunch of 9s out.
Like guns?
Oh my goodness. It just comes together like, that's so bad.
The expression on your face,
That
babe.
is so bad. Oh my goodness. Sesame Street, shame on
Listen,
you.
Sesame Street has gotten a little bit like...
Shame on you.
I think if you ask them, they would disavow any knowledge. What?
I'm 100% sure.
That's just you and your mind.
Wow.
That's funny, though.
Yeah. Okay, go. What's your
It's
thing?
funny. Okay, so these cartoons that I told you about, I think that we watched them a little bit later, but the original TV shows that we watched, and my siblings are going to love this. Gospel Bill.
Nope.
Salty's Clubhouse.
I know Salty. That one I know. And hold on. And actually, I think I only know Salty because of you.
It may be. Mm-hmm. It may be. I know that there is more, okay? But these are the two that stand out to me the most because Gospel Bill was set up like in the Old West, and the sheriff, he was always, the one who's protecting everybody. And then you had the lady at the store, at the convenience store. And then there was the deputy sheriff. And then there was always this bad guy who'd come in. And there was like this war between good and evil, right? And now that I say that, something flashed in my head and I can't even remember. But so funny how those were the things. And it's funny because at that time, I remember it was myself, the second oldest, Leah, who she sang the birthday song for those who don't know her. And then the third sister, Mel, or we call her Mushu. She's going to hate that. And we had divided who was going to marry who. I was going to marry the sheriff because I was the oldest, so I got first pick. And honestly, if I'm going to pull a picture. We should pull a picture so you can put it on the thing, okay? Nothing to look at. None of them were nothing to look at, okay? And then, wow, there was the banker, and he was bald as well. I want to say that Lily was going to get the deputy sheriff, and then Mel was stuck with the banker. Okay, and oh my gosh, so funny.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yes.
This
is how young we were.
I just looked up a picture and what in the world?
Yes. So, but speaking of that, did you ever hear a radio show?
I did not.
Okay, so when I tell people that I grew up like in a whole other time, it's so amazing for me to know.
When you open up the gates to your house, it was a time capsule.
I'm serious. Mm-hmm. We were sucked back in. And the thing is like you and I are exactly pretty much the same age. And it's like we were growing up in parallel universes. And I thought that pretty much everybody did what we did, right? I didn't think that there were other people doing other things because I didn't know anything. But just the way that you got up on Saturday morning to watch Saturday morning cartoons, I got up on Saturday morning to listen to a Saturday morning radio show. There was no need for anybody to come wake me. I remember having an alarm that was like the clock that we now have as a decoration in the guest bedroom. Okay? The one with the little bell that it would hit it. I had that. All right? And that's what would wake me up. And then I'd run around and wake up all of the siblings so that we could all crowd around the radio and listen to Adventures in Odyssey. And it was every episode, most episodes, sometimes they did a series so that next week's episode was a continuation of that week's, series when they started doing that. Some of them were not connected. And it was just 30 minutes. And nobody talked during that time. There were no interruptions. It was just amazing to be listening to what's going on with this and that. So that's something that a lot of people, they don't get, the whole listening to a radio show. But there was this segment in an episode that they did that was called Did You Know? Okay. And because they started doing, I don't remember if they called it Bible radio, something like that. But they in the show wanted to do a show where they could teach, I guess, other people through a radio show, right? Bible stories and stuff. And so they did this tiny little segment that was Did You Know? And it was, bits of information. So the Did You Know is something that recently I started again with my family chat with, my sisters and brothers and my parents. And so every day I send a little graphic that I made, right? That says, Did you know? With Denny, right? So that's what they call me. So I will send them some fact of something that I just read in my medical book. And it's become this thing where Lily now has started Would You Rather. So when I send the Did You Know with my fact, right? She sends right after that the Would You Rather. So it's something that we're doing together, which is really, really cool. So, would you rather be the best player on the worst team or the worst player on the best team?
Best player on the worst team.
Everybody picked that but me.
Why?
I picked being the worst player on the best team.
Why is that?
Because I figured if you are the best in the worst team, you've peaked. There's nowhere else to go. You'll be forever frustrated that you're the best person on that team. But if I'm the worst player on the best team, then that means I could learn from all of these amazing people and actually become better than I am right now.
Or you could be the best player on the worst team and you make it a mission for you to work with the people that you have and make them better.
Yeah, I know. Everybody had their own thing. Another one that she said was, would you rather have a tennis ball for a head or a watermelon head?
A what?
What would you rather?
A tennis ball.
What? Only my mom picked that.
Yeah, a watermelon's going to rot.
We all picked watermelon head.
A watermelon's going to rot.
No, babe. It's your head. It's alive.
Yeah, it's gonna
It'll always be good.
No, it's going to rot.
No, in this world, it doesn't rot.
Well, it depends on the watermelon. Because if you get a nice little round watermelon...
That's what Mel said. Mel said you didn't specify if it had to be a big one or a small one, so I'm going to get a head-sized watermelon. Oh, my God. So funny.
The way you entertain yourselves.
It is. But you know what? This whole thing today has been so good for me because there's been so much laughter and I really needed it. I actually feel this is week 2, right? So I know that we've been hinting a lot at the fact that I'm doing school and all that stuff, and I don't think that we have.
No, we haven't.
We haven't ever discussed that, right? So I'm back in school to do radiology, and my graduation date is supposed to be August of next year. And when I started this, I felt like it was like, what the heck am I doing? Okay, everybody knows I just, this past week, just celebrated my 40th birthday.
And I'm still 39.
Okay, until Wednesday. which is tomorrow. Damn. Okay, good.
But
Siri, make a note. Siri, make a note. Wednesday. Tomorrow. Set an alarm for tomorrow.
the fact you need to make a note to remember my
Well,
birthday.
that's where I'm going with this. Is
Yay.
that I thought in the beginning, what am I doing? You know, like it was exciting that I had the opportunity to do this because, you know, I started going, I went to college, right? And then what happened was I became a mom, right? Very early. And we decided that we were going to arrange, I guess, our lives, if you could say it that way, right? We were making decisions in our life that we're going to be putting things that maybe we wanted to do now, we were putting them on hold for later. Okay? So buying a house, having a better car, like all those things, because I decided, you know, I'm going to stay home with the kids. We homeschooled the kids. So a lot of things that we may have wanted to do then were put on pause. It's not like we quit on them. We put them on pause. And I don't ever look back and say, wow, you know, like I spent the best years of my life at home and not doing what I wanted or anything like that. I never see it that way. I wouldn't have it any other way. But now there's an opportunity to finish what I started. You know, so it's very exciting. But at the same time, before you get into it, it's very overwhelming as well because you know what's riding on it. You know the sacrifices that you're going to be making. And it isn't, you know, I think that many kids who graduate high school, they don't really know what's coming in college. I don't think that high school really prepares them very well for the demand of college and professors and deadlines. And it's different in many ways than the environment in high school.
Well, also like when like you're looking at your classmates, like there's no one else that's in your age range.
Right. There's one classmate that I have. She is 30 years old. So we're 10 years apart. That's pretty significant, you know. So you know, I've done that, and the last 5 months the last 4 months, the last 4 classes have been, you know, work, but I've aced all of them. I've surprised myself.
It's been 5 months.
Yes, this is the 5th month, okay? But I'm saying this is class number 5. So we are in anatomy now. And I expected anatomy to be hard because it's the body, you know? It's a machine that you're learning. But this is the end of the 2nd week, and I feel like I haven't talked to you.
No, it honestly, I'm coming home. Well, I'm in the middle of tree trimming season. On top of you being in the middle of crazy anatomy, and our time is 45 minutes. If we're lucky.
If even.
If we're lucky. Mm-hmm. And it's just been intense. Go, and it really has been. It's not easy, but we're looking at a finish line of 14 months, and that's, you know, I keep on telling Kemia, it's right around the corner. It's less time than what it's been since the shutdown and lockdown and all this insanity that we've been going. And when we look back, it flew by. And here we are in May, you know, 15 months later, and you know, we look back and a lot has happened in the last 15 months, which I think is something to talk about maybe on another episode.
Right.
But
yeah.
It's been so much that's been going on, and yet at the same time so much good that has come out of it.
C.S. Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, said that have you ever noticed that when you look forward everything, and I'm paraphrasing because this isn't his exact quote, but when you look forward, everything seems like it's so far away, right? But then when you look back, everything is like, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, like a flash.
You know? And so just like keeping that focus on. And so I texted a friend this week who had reached out to me, and I said, like I haven't seen you and Nick, and it's I feel like I'm on a burner and the flame is getting hotter and hotter. This is the most intense class that I've had, and it is an hourly thing for me to have to remind myself, you can do it. You can do it. Because there's some times where I'm like, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail. The intensity of the advanced course, I think is impossible. Like I don't understand how it's possible.
Well,
and yet
it's unreal. I'm looking at it from the outside. The expectations are unrealistic.
Right.
And yet,
I think everyone can agree to that.
And yet, here we are, and you're killing it.
And I'm not killing it.
You're killing it.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think it's good to hear it from your side, because
you're killing it.
It doesn't feel like I'm killing it all the time.
Because you're in it.
I know, yeah.
But I can say from the outside looking in that I'm impressed.
I get up at 5:00 every morning.
And it's 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And
Yep.
you're like, okay, I need to stop.
Yeah.
And you would keep going if you could.
Yeah, and I it's like I know that I need to break for mental comprehension. But there's so much work to do that it just feels like you can't. I break to use the bathroom. I break for that. If Nick isn't here and she doesn't bring me lunch or breakfast, I don't eat. You give me a coffee in the morning, and that coffee lasts me until about 3:00 in the afternoon because I'm sipping it. And the sipping is, it's enough.
And because our house is so cold, it becomes iced coffee.
Yeah. But, it's this episode here for me, I feel like I've come out of the dungeon that I'm in every day, because our office is located in the garage. Mm-hmm. So there are no windows here. There is no sign of sunlight anywhere here, so I do kind of feel like I'm in a cavern. So I have actually taken to using our giant screen for our computer to play YouTube videos.
Yeah, the screensaver.
No, to play YouTube videos of ambiance, but people talking, books rustling, people like the cashier. So it's like a scenery, and then of like a coffee shop, and there's even cars driving by. So it feels like I'm somewhere.
Like you're not in this.
And so it's one of those things where I just keep thinking, okay, like right now I'm 2 weeks down. And I'm not out. And the pressure of passing this class is so high. We've already had 6 people drop out of the class because they say that it's too intense. I don't know how it's possible for me to learn everything I need to learn for the final in a week and a half. You need to name every single bone, every single crevice of the bone, every single line in the bone, and you need to know what they do. You need to know what muscles insert, what muscles are attached. That's a lot of information when it comes to all the other work that you have to do as well. So, it's one of those that if you look too far ahead, I feel like I'm drowning, and I feel like impossible. I can't do this. My mind, I feel like I'm sticking information in and other information's falling out because it's so much. I keep saying if only I had more time, if I could only have a little bit more time, I would get it. But we don't. And so I think that this is one of those where they want to see who can make it, So.
And I say again, you're killing it. And your teacher knows it.
And that's the other thing is like if ever I have to give a speech at the end of all of this, I think that
you're going to pound on the table and wave your arms.
The support that you've given me through this, the way that you just whatever you need. Like today you went and did groceries by yourself. You've never done groceries by yourself, and you did that by yourself. And you're washing your own clothes, and you're making me dinner, and you're doing all that stuff. And
we were supposed to be laughing.
I know. It's just, yeah, it's a lot. And I don't know. No, I don't think anybody else understands unless they've been there before. Yeah, the exhaustion I feel, the amount of stress that I'm under, it's just insane. And then this is like good tears because I needed this. Mm-hmm. I needed to be able to laugh and just talk and, And I know that, because people tell me, we're cheering for you. We're cheering for you and we're proud of you. And that means a lot because in the end, I know that if I fail this class, right? I know that I have done everything that I could to pass it. And there's no shame in that because at least I tried to do it, I'm not thinking I'm going to fail, but I think that people have a big fear of failing, but you cannot ever savor success the same way if you get it on the first try either. So, yep. I feel like it's a different note than we started on to kind of wrap up the show, but it was really good.
Yeah.
So, it was really good.
I know you hear it from me all the time, but I'm proud of you.
Did you whisper? Because I couldn't hear you. I think you mumbled right now. It was one of those moments.
I said, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Books.
All right, baby. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It was, like Ketmia said, it was refreshing to sit and have a conversation and just enjoy each other's time. And you guys had a chance to ride along with us.
Yeah.
So, if you love our show, if you love the this and that chat, tell somebody. Tell them to come listen. We've had so much positive feedback, especially with last week's episode. I don't know what happened. Last week was one of those weeks where we just had just a bunch of brand new listeners, and it was so cool to see that. And we're excited that we are just sharing our lives, and people are coming back.
The funny parts and the emotional ones too.
Yeah, and people keep coming back for it. So we appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any suggestions or comments or any of that good stuff, you can go to thisandthatchat.com.
Yes, sorry.
And you can reach out to us there. Beep beep.
Sorry. Real quick.
You can reach out to us there. There's a little chat option right at the bottom, or hit the contact button on Instagram. You can direct message us. There's just so many ways to be able to get in contact with us, and we would love to hear from you.
Sorry, just on the note that you made about
Sorry.
suggestions. We did have one suggestion.
Oh,
all
yes.
right. So for those of you who are still listening right now, one of the things that we're going to start doing is we're going to reverse the time that we're setting our polls. Right. So for this week, we'll create a poll. And then next episode, we'll share the results of that poll because we haven't been doing
because
that.
no one ever hears the
Right.
results.
Nobody ever knows what it is. So that was a great suggestion that we got. And so we're going to incorporate that. And that way there can be more interaction and, we can maybe discuss the results and what that means and what people thought.
Yep.
Maybe this week's poll should be about, do you like the house hot or cold? And we're going to see how many women say they like it. Because there might be men who would surprise you who'd be like, I like it at like -0. I want to go to your house.
Anyways.
All right.
Until
guys.
Until next time. Thank you so much for listening. We're done.
Bye now.
Bye.